Welcome back, squad. Mid-ish year review. Let's go. Okay, we don't got time. We just got to jump in. Up first, the 49ers. CMC is fourth in targets overall to anyone, which is crazy. He's a running back. He's averaging around 10 targets a game, which is nuts. Kendrick Bourne is looking down. Juwan Jennings looking up. Playtime, snap share, targets, all that good stuff. Wouldn't say I love this 49ers team. Kittle's back, which is good. He'll be fine. Overall, it's tough to gauge. Purdy will be back soon, I believe, I hope. So, again, I don't love the 49ers, but if you have CMC or you have Kittle, you feel pretty good. Onto the Bears, Caleb Williams looks rough. He's just airmailing passes. He doesn't look great. He does run on occasion, which is nice for you, but if he wasn't going to get it done against the Ravens, it's hard for me to trust it in a lot of other settings. So, I'm pretty out on Caleb now, which sucks because I really liked him going into the year. Rome's doing good. He'll be fine overall. He had a first read target share in the high 20s. I think it was like 27-28%, which is really good for him. This backfield is pretty split. Swift and Monangai are pretty much 50-50 or near 50-50. It's like 55-45. So I wouldn't say I'm buying into this backfield. You feel good about it as of the last few weeks with Swift, but is that consistent? That's hard to say, because I don't know what's going to shake out of this. I think it's going to continue to be this split, which you don't feel great about, but here we are. Moving on to the Bengals. Since they've had Joe Flacco, Jamar Chase has had a 46% target share with him, which is nuts and great to see him back. Chase Brown is a little tricky. Samaje Perine is now in the mix. Perine looks pretty good. He had a higher yards per attempt, and yes, the Jets schemed their wide receivers away. Didn't work too well but I don't see Perine going away. I think Chase Brown will still be used to like a flex play, but do I trust him? Not a ton. It is the Jets, so there's that matchup, but like overall, I don't feel amazing about it, but I don't feel horrible about it either. Just kind of, Browns on the field 54% of the time this last game, but the most telling thing is that they should fire Zach Taylor and that their defense is bad. On to the Bills, James Cook had a blow-up game, some 33-odd points, something crazy. He's going to have those huge ceiling games. He also has some of those floor games, as you can see the past couple weeks. It just depends on who gets in the end zone, and that's hard to predict. Sometimes it's Josh Allen, sometimes it's James Cook, sometimes it's their third-string tight end Jackson, so you just don't know. Kincaid was on the field 22% of the time, which is not great, especially because he got game scripted out of it. He's very game script dependent, which is tough to trust. Shakir is probably the best wide receiver to own right now. Maybe they trade for someone, I don't know. But as of now, it's kind of Shakir or no one. Onto the Broncos, I'm a little conflicted about Troy Franklin. I think he's decent, and he had a blow-up game this past week. He's had twice as many red zone targets as Cortland Sutton has, and he has less than 1% difference in target share between him and Sutton. So it's interesting. RJ Harvey just had 3 touchdowns in this game. Huge game for him against the Cowboys, but the snap share was around 30%, so it wasn't anything crazy. So I'd probably sell him, honestly, because unless Dobbins gets hurt, you're just kind of hoping for those touchdowns, and he just had 3 of them. Ingram got game scripted out of this most recent one, but he's hovering in that like 40s, 50s, depending on how the game goes, which is tough. So if you think the Broncos are going to get beat up on, I would start him. Otherwise, it's a bit of a risk, but the floor is all right. To the Browns, it's pretty much their tight ends, Fannin and Njoku. Everyone else is kind of risky business at this point. Judkins just got hurt, so we'll kind of see where he goes. On the wideouts, Jerry Jeudy's the only one that I'm even mildly interested in. He's second in routes at the position, but he is 52nd in yards. So part of that's quarterback play. Part of that is just luck. So will he improve? Probably. Will he improve enough to be startable? Jury's still out. Onto the Bucs, Rachaad White looked bad. He had a 45% running back snap share. He was on the field 55% of the time. Not great numbers, especially because he got stuffed at the goal line 3 times. It was hard to watch. Tucker, meanwhile, had a 41% RB snap share, which is much better than his previous games. I think this is more of a committee until Bucky gets back, which could be after the bye, but also who knows. Basically, this is Bucky's backfield, I think, once he comes back. Baker, I feel for him. He just has no one to throw to, not even like Bucky. So he has Ibuka, but if they cover Ibuka, it's like Sterling Shepard and Tez Johnson, which is just not Mike Evans. So it's tough. It's tough for him. To the Cardinals, Trey Benson's coming back pretty soon. Not this week, but hopefully in the next week or two. Marv Harrison is averaging 5.7 targets a game, which is bad. And he has Kyler Murray throwing to him, so I just don't trust that week in, week out. Onto the Chargers, Herbert looks good. He put up 25 points against the Vikings defense, which is pretty good. Keenan kind of got game scripted out of this. He's on the field 25% of the time. That's probably the most concerning stat for the Chargers, especially for Keenan, because I love that man. But if they're beating up on a team like they play the Titans next week, do you trust him against the Titans? It's like, if they're losing, but are they going to lose to the Titans? My money's on no. Vidal looks really good, though. I think he's going to work his way in when Hampton gets back. Not like a 50-50 necessarily, but like maybe 60-40 or 70-30. I think he's not going away. QJ had a dud of a game, which is tough. Gadsden's kind of taken over that role a little bit. QJ's running routes. He's on the field, which is good. Back to Gadsden. He ran a route 91% of the time when he was on the field, which is crazy. So he's kind of here to stay, which is awesome. And Ladd is finally making a comeback. He had a 42% target share in this previous game against the Vikings. He was rough in the beginning. It's a little bit of a crapshoot, but I feel relatively good about Ladd, better than any wideout here. Don't tell Keenan I said that. The Chiefs, Mahomes is slinging it and making it look good. He's had a lot of 20-point games. He's doing great. This team is firing on offense, especially with Rashee Rice back. Kelsey had a nice game on Monday night against the Commanders, which is nice to see. Is that trustable? No, because I think it's going to be Rice and someone. Kelsey, potentially. Worthy, maybe. I feel better about Kelsey than like Worthy or any other receiver not named Rashee Rice. Do I trust him? Not yet. The running back room, it's just a three-headed committee, and it's just, I don't like it. Onto the Colts, Pittman's going to keep putting up low-key good numbers. Like, he's put up 20-point games. He's been great. JT's insane. We don't even talk about him. Josh Downs was on the field 64% of the time, which is his highest all year, which is interesting, especially because they smoked the Titans. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see, especially in games where they're losing, which hasn't been much, to be fair. The Commanders' Bill is tough because I don't think he's going to get the goal line work. He's not getting the third down work, and he's not getting the passing work. So you just need him to be a really good runner. And it's not that he can't be that, but he's not built like a Derrick Henry, and he's facing a ton of stacked boxes. It's just really hard to trust him, especially without Jaden Daniels. Terry came back, scored a touchdown, looked good enough. So I feel good about Terry going forward, especially when Jaden comes back. Debo's more that gadget guy that we once saw. He'll have some blow-up games, but I think he's kind of reverted back to that role. The Cowboys somehow have a worse defense than they have a better offense, which is saying something. Dak is still going to keep slinging it. He's going to have to. So I think everyone will get involved. Pickens, Lamb, they'll eat into each other a little bit, but they're going to throw the ball a ton because they have to. Javonte looks great. Ferguson was under 60% of snaps for the first time in a while, which is concerning. He had no points, just a dud. So it's tough. It's tough to determine with him. You don't really want to panic sell him, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in Dallas. He also didn't get all the goal line work. Shoemaker got in there. Their like third string tight end guy got in there. Don't even know his name. I don't feel great about Ferguson, but it's not like he's going to have a worse game than this one. To the Dolphins, Achane is averaging 19.5 fantasy points a game, which is great. Waddle has been the wide receiver 6 since Hill's been injured, and both Achane and Waddle are averaging 6.3 targets a game. That's pretty much all you need to know with the Dolphins. Barkley with the Eagles had a really good day, which was good to see. Got into the end zone twice. The tricky part is, like, unless this is a shootout, which it can be, it's the Eagles. Goddard got 2 touchdowns. That's hard to say. The wideouts, Smith did okay. He did decent. But A.J. Brown will be back next week. Just, again, a lot of mouths to feed, and they take a lot of time in possession. So hesitantly optimistic, but TBD. The Falcons, they looked bad with Kirk. I don't think he'll be consistently playing, though. Not after that game, dear God. God, being a Bijan owner, like, he scores you points, but he could have so much more. Algier had both carries inside the 10. Bijan averages 6 targets a game and a 60% carry share, which is crazy because he's maybe the best running back in the NFL, and they don't even put him on the field 70% of the time. Kyle Pitts is 4th at tight end in targets per game. Do I trust him? Absolutely not. But it's interesting. The Giants lost Cam Scadaboo to a terrible injury. It's horrible to watch. Tracy stepped up. He's obviously the new guy here. He'll put up decent numbers, especially with Dart at QB. I think they'll be survivable. So I think they'll be okay, but pretty inconsistent. I think they're going to have to get a wideout or something in a trade because it's Wandale and Slayton on a deep ball. Maybe without Scadaboo, it's just tough. Tracy's livable. He's fine, but this offense as a whole, I think, is the bigger problem. The Jets won a football game. It's crazy. Mason Taylor led the team in target share with 24%. Gary Wilson should be back, though, in a week, maybe 2. Do I trust the quarterbacks? No, of course not, but here we are. Breece Hall, I'd probably sell him. I don't think he's going to have a better game than this one. Maybe comparably a good game, but not better. On to the Jags. BTJ is averaging 8 targets a game. ETN is RB20 on the year. He's averaging 13 fantasy points a game. ETN's going to be in that like RB2 range, maybe high, maybe low, depending on the matchup. BTJ, it's just like, hopefully he can catch the ball. To the Lions, Gibbs is the lead. Monty's the number 2 here, which sucks. Unless you have Gibbs, then it's great. J-Mo's just running cardio. He's averaging 4.3 targets a game, which is rough. And Laporta's not doing much better. He has 5.1 targets a game. So they're scoring, they're throwing, they're doing all the things on offense. It's just very specifically going to Amon-Ra and Gibbs. The Packers are just too spread out outside of Tucker Kraft, who has a 36% red zone target share this year. Matthew Golden's most targets in a game is 6. The Panthers, Rico's the better running back. I think right now he looks better. Will he take over? Maybe like 60-40, but I don't think it's going to be like a crazy Rico takeover. And Tet is a good wide receiver. He can be good with a lot of good quarterbacks, which he had one. The Patriots, Drake May is QB2 on the year, which is crazy. Travion Henderson looked good, but he still only played 21% of the time, and he's RB41 on the year. Justice Hill is RB39, if that's encouraging. It shouldn't be. The Raiders, we're just going to pray for Vegas and pray that Jacoby Myers gets traded. The Rams with Puka coming back. That should happen this week. Devontae still leads the team in red zone targets. He leads the NFL in red zone targets, which is nice to see. Kyron's the lead guy. They're good offense. On to the Ravens. Mark Andrews is tight end 24 on the year, which is bad. But Lamar is coming back, which should improve everyone in this offense. Derrick Henry's made it survivable, even with a backup quarterback. So I think he'll just continue to improve with Lamar. The Saints, oof. Chris Olave is 4th in average targets a game, but that's pretty much it. The Seahawks have a gross running back committee. Neither's great. Charbonnet is getting the goal line work. Kenneth is getting all the useless work where he tries to work a miracle and he doesn't. JSN's a superstar. The Steelers, it's DK Metcalf and it's Jalen Warren. That's pretty much it. They might trade for a wide receiver, but right now it's basically just Metcalf. And even he isn't a huge ceiling guy. It's just you hope he gets in the end zone because the targets aren't going to be like 10 a game most of the time. The Texans, Woody Marks had a pretty nice game, but I think they want a committee. Like Woody Marks isn't going to get the goal line work over Nick Chubb. I just don't see that happening. Their defense is really good against quarterbacks. They give up 10.5 fantasy points a game to quarterbacks. So Titans have a split backfield. Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. It's kind of a little bit rough because they're going to eat into each other. They've allowed the most sacks as a team, so Cam Ward is kind of scrambling for his life. And the Vikings, Justin Jefferson is limited by his ass quarterbacks. One just got shoulder surgery though, so he's going to be out for a while. But with Wentz, he averages 10.7 targets a game. With McCarthy, he's averaged 6.6, so that's not great. The running backs have been a split, 53% this last week for Jones, 34 for Mason. So I think Mason gets the goal line work. Jones gets kind of the receiving work when they're winning, which I don't know how often that will be. And Hawkinson is tight end 26. That's bad. I don't trust him. Anyway, that's the late-ish, mid-year-ish review. Let me know what you think. I'm tired. I'm going to listen to some weird AI jazz music now. Peace out.